Welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We are your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is the 24th of May, 2017. It is a Wednesday. We are trying to bring you kind of all the new developments on Manchester and the bombing that happened there. First of all, there are now troops on the ground. And I went straight to Horatio to ask him a couple of questions because I wanted to know, here's the thing. If you put troops on the ground in the United States, you're going to have all the underground militias and all the preppers and all those crazy wacko people that we kind of like coming out, like having secret meetings like, dude, they putting troops on the ground. We need to get ready to defend ourselves. Okay. And so I want to read you what he said in response, because I just said that I've got a lot of you guys telling me that you're at the highest threat level possible. There's troops on the ground. I said, to me, it sounds like martial law. He said, yeah, kind of, but it's not martial law. Troops have taken over sites that usually get guarded by the armed police. This is to free up the armed police to cover new civilian operations for the time being. The highest threat level is that another attack is imminent if that's going to happen. So then later, I wasn't satisfied with that because I said, I'm really scrolling with my Facebook feed. Can you really give me more of an understanding for how you guys in the UK are feeling about the troops on the ground? How serious is it? And so he says to me, he's like, we're British. It's being seen as them doing what's necessary until they get the immediate situation under control. Troops are at nuclear sites, Parliament, Buckingham Palace, to let the people, the police work with the civilians. And I said to him, I said, I love how we're British is just a part of the explanation. We're British, like, of course. That I said, yes, I see, that explains everything. Everything's clear. He says, haha, it just is though. The stereotype just explains it. The public are like, so what are you going to do to get this sorted out? And the police and the government are like, we've recruited some army regiments to take over guarding sensitive sites, which allows those armed police officers to take part of the armed operations in civilian areas. And then he says, the public says, right, yes, excellent, carry on, you know? Yes, absolutely. So, there you go.
Righto, carry on,
thank you. The troops are on the ground and they're helping protect us, and yes, hello. So I thought that was actually wonderful explanation.
In your British accent.
Okay. Britain on lockdown. Army deploys 1,000 heavily armed soldiers to guard London. Parliament is closed to the public and changing of the guard is cancelled after Theresa May warns another terror attack is imminent.
Armed troops patrol the streets around London landmarks, including Buckingham Palace and Parliament. The changing of the guard ceremony has been cancelled and the Palaces of Westminster are in lockdown. It comes after Theresa May warned a further attack may be imminent. Following Manchester bombing, the decision taken at meeting of government's emergency Cobra meeting, I did say that, committee. We'll see 984 troops deployed. They can't do 100, it has to be an odd number.
It does say that it is the first time the military has been sent out to patrol British streets since a similar threat in 2003.
So Britain took the unprecedented step of deploying hundreds of soldiers, almost 1,000, to patrol the streets of London today as the country woke up to the heightened terror threat that followed the Manchester suicide bombing. Around 1,000 heavily armed military personnel from the Royal Artillery, the paratroop and the Irish Guards. You know what? There's one guy here that looks like an Irish Guard. I think he's in this other article. This guy right here.
Yes!
He looks like an Irish Scottish Guard. When I saw him, I was like,
tattoos.
I was ready for him to break out in the Braveheart.
But the Braveheart's not Irish, dude.
I don't know. He's got like tattoos on his arm.
Scottish, dude.
I'd feel safe around him.
Get your Braveheart right.
Well, I'm sorry. I'd say and you know what's funny about these pictures is actually they look quite chummy with the police officers.
Chummy.
They're
quite chummy.
They look quite
together.
chummy. Here we go. A police officer allowed a soldier through the gates of Parliament at Scotland Yard, steps up patrol amid an increased terror threat. Then you have soldiers support police amid heightened security measures at Downing Street and Houses of Parliament. They're just quite chummy. Don't you see? They're just quite chummy. Soldiers are replacing armed police at many popular tourist spots, including Whitehall and Westminster, as part of the Met Police's Operation Tempora, which will free up police officers to fight the terror threat. They're just kind of hanging out together. Many police forces are not taking up the offer of military support, but 4,000 extra troops are also on standby if needed. As the paratroop, they will not be flying in, they're already on the ground. Here we go. Just kind of hanging out. 3 or 4 officers per policeman, it looks like. Armed with an SA-80 assault rifles.
I love this, actually. I think this is fantastic. Like,
Don't
if you're
they
a
look
cop
like
and you
that
get, like
together, like-
assistance to, like, walk down the street with a posse, like, I'm a police and I get, like, armed guards of
I feel like
soldiers.
they're like, I feel like they're soldiers in arms.
Yeah,
Brothers in
they're
arms.
protecting
This is
their
not-
country.
I don't
as
know.
it should be. Look at that. Look at those handsome fellows.
They did that on purpose.
Lovely chaps, you know?
They look quite good together there.
So this just kind of reiterates more of what happened. Listen, I think that what you guys are doing is fantastic. Having the troops come in on the ground
I feel
and
like
help
it's
out.
brotherly. I mean, like, these guys look like they're working together. I mean, it just looks...
He's smiling.
I know.
Listen, I had asked Horatio to give me more of an understanding because, like I said, very different here.
Look at them. Look at them. They're all just so chipper. All these British people are so polite.
Even if we had had a terror bombing and they brought troops in on the ground,
snappy? Our police officers don't look like that.
we would still be suspect that the government is trying to take over our lives.
Exactly.
Not protect the people. Like, he said, listen.
Look, they're smiling.
He said the difference is that in that case, your government would be using the troops to protect the government, not the people. And in our instance here, we're using the troops to protect the people.
Walking together. We are walking together.
Tally-ho. Now, I had actually asked Horatio, because he loves to go to athletics. Do you guys know anything about athletics? It's like track and field, and they follow it like football. Very weird to me. But they do, or at least Horatio does.
Fun.
It does sound a little bit more fun.
More athletic, really athletic.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, so when is the next athletics event that you're going to be going to? And he kind of pulled my leg, or at least he said that he wasn't. But he's like, it's in Manchester, like this weekend. And I was like, no. And he's like, no, yes it is. And I was like, no. And he's like, no, it really is. And I was like, he sent me a link. And I said, yeah, but you're not going. And he's like, no, I hate Manchester. Okay, but that's not what he meant. It's not that he hates it. But like, I can understand it's a big city. And we don't want to go to big cities. But there is, and that's something for you guys to be aware of, there's going to be another big event. He sent a link that's really kind of cool. They run down the streets in the middle of the street. They got like these tracks. It's kind of awesome. But they're going to have another event right this weekend in Manchester for their athletics. So I am so concerned about all of our UK viewers. Just don't go anywhere. Stop it. Stay at home. Don't attend these events. They don't need your economy and you're spending money. Okay? We need you alive and not blown to bits. We need our Resistance Chicks viewers not blown to bits.
You know what? Speaking of that, if our battery lasts again, I want to go over just some of the victims.
Yes, we do need to do that. And that's a more serious note. So, all right, you guys, we're going to sign off here. This is Leah Michelle for Resistance Chicks, where it is not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Matt's Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We love you. God loves you. And God bless. God bless Britain. And we stand with Britain. GBUS. We love it.
Cold, all alone, no place for home, every day, so afraid, but you called my name.